What's going on, guys? So in today's video we're going to be diving into Larry's exhaust. So I know there's not a lot of 10th gen F150 guys on YouTube anymore. There's a lot of older videos and stuff, but as a lot of y'all have said, there's just not a lot of 10th gen guys out there. So I get tons of questions because the first video was kind of like a combo of getting the truck and doing exhaust on it, so I think a lot of people missed that, at least the newer guys. And so I want to go over the exhaust because there's a ton of questions on what piping I have, the exhaust tips, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna get under the truck and show y'all what we got. This is probably, in my opinion, the perfect daily driver exhaust for someone that likes a choppy, quieter sound, not super loud, but not like a muffler, real quiet, mellow tone sound. So I think it is pretty much perfect for people that don't want over the top. So I guess let's go back here. We'll climb under here and look. So if you see right here, there's our one pipe, and there's the cat. That's the big cat, pre-cat, main cat. There's our O2 sensor with the extension on it. We don't have one on the other, but in case one of those fall off at some point, these little extensions will help not fry your O2 sensors. You don't really want them angled down like this because that's where the moisture can get in them, but that's where the exhaust shop guy put it. So yeah, but as you can see, two different pipes, completely separated, and then they go all the way back. This is a true dual cat back. If you're wanting this from the exhaust shop, that's what you tell them. True dual cat back, no crossover, no muffler, no resonator. I don't know if this is fully legal in all states as far as passing emissions. We don't have that here, so I have no experience with that. But true duals, coming off factory manifolds, 4 cats, then they split. Let's come back here. Actually, so I got a measuring tape for everyone that asks what size the exhaust tips are, and for the people that ask where I got the shorty 5-inch for the baby squat. And these, I get all my exhaust tips at my local exhaust shop. They have a ton of them. I don't know if all exhaust shops are like that, but I've been going to this same one for like 12 years now. So they always have really good tip selection, and I just get them there. So crawl under here just to show y'all how I got these mounted. Also, a lot of people ask, what do I say in order to tell them how I want the tips? At my exhaust shop, I just go out there with them at the truck and hold the exhaust tip up and say, hey, if it's possible, I want it right here. You know, hold it up exactly where you want it. It's not always possible because some trucks' leaf springs will get in the way, or other components that are under the truck, and that way you can't have it going because the pipe obviously will hit some stuff. But I've been fortunate with getting all mine pretty much perfect, recent trucks at least. So true duals, I don't know if you can see, they bend it around the shock over here, and then obviously come out here under the leaf spring. So let's go ahead and measure this thing. So from the back side of it to the bottom, that's 10 inches. And then that is 14 right there. If I'm at the back of it, it's about 14. And then we have the 5-inch opening. So this is a 14 by 5 or 10 by 5, depending. I would assume 14 by 5 with the 45 slant cut. You can get rolled tips, you can get all different kinds, where this is different, flat, cut, straight. There's a bunch of them. So that's what that is. We'll come over here. Pretty much the same thing, they just bend a little bit differently. So that's that. We'll come back, show you how they sit. Hopefully y'all can see it pretty good. I know it's not the best lighting. You know, you got a good exhaust guy if he gets your tips straight, and that's just the way I like them. I like them hidden, tucked in there pretty good. In the past, I've had them all the way out at the bumper, or hanging down, or coming out like kind of sideways here, and I wasn't happy with that ever. And so now I'm a little bit more picky when I go in there and tell them what to do, and they've got me dialed in recently. So that's what I got on Larry. So now that you see it, I guess let's go ahead. I've already driven the truck. You hear it like cooling off, crackling and stuff. So I've already filmed that kind of stuff. So it is warm. Let's go ahead, do some revs.
right, I've got y'all decently far back to try not to blow the mic out, and then zoomed in. Also, the engine, one of the belts or pulleys or something on this truck's pretty loud, so hopefully that doesn't mess up the audio. But anyways, let's crank this thing up and give it a couple revs.
So as you can hear, I think it sounds freaking sick. It's got nice little burbles and stuff, and like I was talking about in my other video on Baby Squat, these older trucks, they rev up and down really quickly, and it gives them that pops and stuff on the way down, and it sounds sick. So I guess next is we're gonna go get some driving, try to get some exterior shots. Well, I've already filmed it. We're gonna go get some exterior shots and go drive around a little bit and really try to get y'all the full experience. But as you can hear, it's pretty dang quiet at idle, which is good and bad. It's nice to have it loud sometimes, but it's also really nice for it not to crank up super duper loud every time, and to be able to talk at idle and not like upset people, or if you're around in a neighborhood or something like that. So yeah, so let's go ahead, hop in it, take her for a spin. Bright. All right, well, as we are leaving the almighty Dollar General, and we're just gonna do a little driving on the way back home, try to give y'all a little perspective. See if we can't get in here and do a little rev in the washing place. Ooh, we're dragging a whip. Pull up a little bit more. Ooh, little pops, I hear you, Larry. Okay. Okay. It sounds freaking good. Listen to the whip. Ooh. Sorry, ceiling. So, I know there's not a lot of 10th gen guys out there. Obviously this is an old truck, and the OBS is usually like overpower them as far as like popularity. So I know there's not a lot of exhaust videos, current ones. There's a lot of old ones, but and then mud grapplers. So definitely, I'm sure I already said this, but I wanted to give y'all a lot of good exhaust footage before we swap up the exhaust for the people that want to run this similar setup, because it's not as like overpowering as like the Chevrolet, like my Baby Squat. The exhaust on it is the same thing, but it only came with 2 cats versus this having 4, so it's way louder. This could honestly be a perfect daily driver exhaust. It doesn't crank up super loud, and this is just this truck. Maybe other ones do, I'm not sure.
but as far as my experience with this truck, it doesn't crank up really loud. It sounds good. It doesn't have any like, what are you doing, car? I bet you're turning without a turn signal. What are you doing? Okay, I'm supposed to yield. Anyways, so it's like perfect. It's not too loud. It's got a nice rumble. It's probably not going to be as loud as you would want it if you like, you know, pretty loud exhaust, but it has kind of that muffled sound, like it has a muffler on it. It doesn't, it just has the 4 factory cats, but it does sound really good. It's choppy, obviously. It's true duals, no crossovers, and I like it a lot. It would be honestly the perfect daily driver where it's not going to be annoying. As far as I've experienced, no drone with it. So some people automatically assume when you put true duals on something, it's like super duper loud, and that's not the case. So on certain model trucks, you got more cats than others. This one's got 4. My Chevrolet had 3. My 06 F150 only had 2. So you really got to base it off of that, not necessarily each, like as a whole, true duals are super loud. The cats bottle up a ton of sound. Just roll the windows up. Obviously y'all probably won't hear it over the mud grabs because they are very loud, but I hear mud grabs and a little bit of rumble back there. There's no drone at all that I've experienced. I haven't taken this thing on like the interstate, so I haven't got him up there in the higher RPMs. Obviously this one's cruising. This one usually cruises under 2,000 in normal driving. It's usually between 2,000 and 2,500 as far as accelerating. The tone pretty much stays the same, whereas on the Chevrolet it changes a decent amount between the low and the high RPMs. This one, I really don't romp on it. It's got 248,000 miles on it, so I ain't trying to blow Larry up. I'm just chilling. But it really is a nice exhaust note, and for people that don't want over the top, but they do want a nice, choppy, clean sound, I think you'd be really happy with true duals. Alright, so we're cruising about 55 right now, and I just barely hear it back there, just a little bit of rumble. Obviously mud grabs are super loud and overpowering, but it's got a nice sound. We'll drop it out of overdrive, ease into it. That's like 2,400 RPMs. Just a little rumble back there. So for you wanting a super loud exhaust, you're gonna probably have to definitely cut the cats out on these things. I know I didn't get too many exhaust clips on the exterior because I did a bunch of turnarounds and stuff, and then my phone was flipped over from the wind. So I'd already made a bunch of passes, and all, like every single house that I looked at, there was people outside. I'm filming this on Thanksgiving, so there's a lot of people over at houses, but everybody was staring. I ain't trying to go like that one too many passes and have the police called and come out here and just ruin my Thanksgiving. So not that many exterior passes, but hopefully enough to let y'all see truly what this thing sounds like. So that's probably it for this video. Hopefully you did enjoy. Hopefully I got a decent amount of sound for everybody out there. All the 10th gen guys, you now know what it's going to sound like with true duals factory 4 cats. And now we're just going to change it up, and Larry's probably going to get a whole lot louder and sound a whole lot better in my opinion. But for the daily driver guys, this would be a highly recommended setup. I think you'll love it. So with all that being said, hopefully you did enjoy. I will see you in the next one.